Hi, hello. Oh wow, let me drink some water and try this again. Hi, hello. I have been very sick for the last like 10 days or so. Not the Rona, at least according to the rapid tests I took, but I'm a lot better now. Still a little bit like phlegmy and congested, but like no longer hacking up a lung, no longer vomiting, no longer feverish, so we're all good. But during my extended convalescence, which by the way happened to coincide with the Sephora VIB sale, all of my days basically went like this. I would wake up like 15 minutes before work started, I would work the whole day, I would clock off, and then I would immediately get into bed. And either I would be so ill that I would just like fall asleep immediately, or I would mindlessly watch like a bunch of beauty YouTube videos until I happened to fall asleep. Mindlessly scrolling through beauty YouTube videos eventually translated to mindlessly scrolling through Sephora.com on my phone. And a couple of times I was like so bored while I was sick and so just tired also of being sick and having nothing else to do that I almost like broke my no buy and bought a bunch of shit. Boredom truly is like my greatest enemy. Like so many times in the past I would go shopping just because I was bored. I nearly succumbed to temptation like at least 4 or 5 times while I was sick. And it was literally only the fact that I have a keep note on my phone that literally contains a screenshot of my student loan account and my bank account balance that like reminded me that I could not afford to like go and buy a bunch of shit at Sephora right now because I'm still like 28 grand in student loan debt. And so I'm here now, like filming this video of things that I really wanted to buy over like the past 2 weeks, because honestly, I'm just kind of hoping that if I like talk through this with you guys, it'll satisfy the like makeup gremlin part of me that like really wants to buy this shit, but absolutely doesn't need to, you know? So without any further ado, let's get it. Let's start with the things that are not available on the Sephora website. These are things that I was like obsessively adding into the cart on the M Cosmetics website and like seriously debating whether or not I wanted to get. The thing that I have been the most obsessed with from the M Cosmetics line, the thing that I have been like using pretty much obsessively nonstop since I bought it at like the end of December, is this Heaven's Glow blush in Magic Hour. This is the blush that I was wearing in my January check-in. It's the blush that I was also wearing in my perfume inventory. It is one of like 2 or 3 blushes that I have been wearing non-stop since like the first week of January all the way up until now. I'm obsessed with this formula. It has this really like beautiful sheen and it imparts such a nice glow to my cheeks without like emphasizing texture. And I am so freaking in love with this blush that when M Cosmetics announced that they were coming out with 2 limited edition Heaven's Glow blushes, I got so excited despite the fact that I am on a no-buy year, especially once I saw the colors. So M Cosmetics announced 2 different colors. One was Cherub, which is like this cool tone baby pink, and I was like, whatever, don't care about her. But the second color, Persimmon, I love yellowy orange blush. Like you don't understand. My very first high-end blush, the one that I like scrimped and saved up all of my coins at age 17 from my part-time job to like go buy, was Taj Mahal by NARS, because I had never seen that sort of like burnt orange yellowy blush done by any other company before. Now M Cosmetics does have like yellowy orange blush, but it's in this cream blush format. It's one of the So Soft blushes and the color in question is Passion. Passion is that sort of like burnt orangey color that if you like shear it out the way that I have on the lower half of my hand, it does look very yellowy orange, but it's matte. And so the idea of getting this like burnt orangey yellow color in the formula that this Magic Hour Heaven's Glow blush is in, I was down bad, you guys. Like I wanted Persimmon so badly. Luckily for my ass, both the limited edition colors, Cherub and Persimmon, they sold out really fast, and so I was not given the opportunity to make a dumb decision. However, unfortunately, I was like already on the website and I was so bitten by the drug of these Heaven's Glow blushes that I was like, okay, Persimmon sold out, what's the next best thing? What are the other colors available in this line that are like appealing to me because I love this formula so much? Which honestly, isn't that just how they get you? Like you love the formula for a thing and then suddenly your brain's like, yeah, I should own it in all the fucking colors. And it's like, no you shouldn't, Prachi. Like when I realized that persimmon was like totally out of stock, my brain then latched onto the color Faded Clementine, because that's also like an orangey toned blush. But when you compare it to persimmon, it's a lot more of like a bronzy orange and a lot less of a yellowy orange. As much as I love any kind of an orangey blush, like I am not looking for bronzy orange blushes right now. What I was looking for was a yellowy orange blush. And I feel like I do this all the time, right? Like so many times in the past when I want a particular thing and I can't get it, I suddenly start scrabbling around looking for like a second place consolation prize or replacement. And if I'm honest with myself, that thing, that consolation prize, like it never makes me happy. In fact, it just like adds a bunch of like stress into my life, because one, it's like this extra object in my makeup collection that I now need to find a space for, and then every single time I look at it, I'm like reminded of the thing that I could have had but like didn't. And I'm really glad that I was able to kind of like recognize that like, hey, you're like settling for something in the realm of makeup. Because the reality is my makeup collection is big and robust and beautiful enough. Like there are so many absolutely stunning and amazing pieces of makeup that I own in it that I don't want anything in there that I have simply settled for. I should only really have the things that I really love and which really like spark joy, you know? And that means that if I like really want a thing and then I miss it somehow, I'm like not able to get it, I should not be trying to fill the hole left behind by trying to buy some like second rate thing. And I don't mean second rate in terms of like that the second thing that I want to buy is somehow like lower in quality, because hello, these are the same blushes from the same brand, but second rate in like my own hierarchy of sparking joy. That was a really long explanation, but like I guess like being sick means that I literally have just had nothing to do except for think about things I want to buy and then fight with myself to like not buy them. And so I have a lot of thoughts. Now, I will say, while I was on the M Cosmetics website, there were two other items that I was like constantly adding into the cart and removing. One of them for honestly like very stupid reasons. So earlier this year, I think in like maybe January, so like right after I got on my no buy, M Cosmetics came out with the Masterpiece collection, which is their version of a neutral makeup collection. If there is one thing that M Cosmetics is brilliant at, it is like the aesthetic of that entire brand, because the names in the Masterpiece collection by themselves are just like chef's kiss to my art ho heart, you know? Like the little eyeshadow palette quads are called Da Vinci and Rodin, the Heaven's Glow blushes are called Baroque and Rococo, and this is the thing I really wanted and which I kept adding to my damn cart. They named one of their like tinted lip cushion balms Van Gogh. And based purely on the name alone, I was like, I need it. Which honestly, like now, in the cold light of day, now that I'm like, I guess no longer addled by fever or whatever, it's so fucking dumb. Like, and I say this, by the way, as a person who has many a time in my life bought something just because I have liked the name. Have you guys ever done that? Like, have you ever bought something because you were like, oh, that's a cute name, or, ooh, I thought that packaging was really pretty. And once you actually kind of get it and the like high of it wears off, you're like, what was I thinking? Or perversely, have you actually bought something only because of like the name or the pretty packaging and then it actually ended up being something that you really liked? Because I feel like I don't have that latter experience that often. Most of the time when I buy something because of the name, once it actually like arrives in the mail and I swatch it, I'm like, well, now what? Because like, yes, I love Vincent van Gogh. Yes, he is my favorite artist. But if I'm being honest, like what does Vincent van Gogh have to do with like a terracotta nude lip luminizer? Literally nothing. In all honesty, the kind of like weird terracotta orangey color that M Cosmetics Van Gogh is, it's a color that I actually tend not to ever let myself buy unless I'm able to test that color like in person on my own lips. Because I have been burned in the past by so many like terracotta nude lipsticks before. They just look like weird and off on me. And so I am very glad that I like didn't succumb to the madness and just like buy that color because of the name. Neither my bank account nor my makeup collection storage can handle me making dumb mistakes like that. Okay, my camera battery died, and it's been kind of like raining on and off here, by the way, so if you're hearing like weird noises, that's the rain hitting the roof and the windows. If you see the lighting going crazy, that's because the weather can't decide whether it wants to be cloudy and rainy, sunny and rainy, or just straight up sunny. But I have charged my camera for 15 minutes, reapplied my lipstick, chugged some water to revive my throat, and let us now discuss the things that I kept on adding to my Sephora cart during the VIB sale. So the first thing that I kept on adding to my cart was the NARS lip crayon in Dragon Girl. It's this beautiful bright red color, and y'all know me, I am a lover of red lipstick. So, you know, if I did ever end up getting my hands on NARS Dragon Girl, you know I would wear it like totally happily, and I'd look good too. But two things. One, I don't need NARS Dragon Girl because as a consummate lover of red lipsticks, I have a lot of red lipstick that I already own, love, and thoroughly use. Two, my reasons for wanting NARS Dragon Girl are, I think, like not that valid. Here's why. The reason why I want NARS Dragon Girl lipstick is like about a month and a half ago, I was like walking down the streets of Baltimore and I saw this woman. She had half of her head shaved off, the rest of it was in a bob. She had a bunch of really, really cool piercings, and she just looked so good. Like, she was so hot, and I'm so not straight. And we were both like standing at an intersection, like at the crosswalk, ready to cross, and I like saw her and my brain sort of like short-circuited in a gay panic, and I just kind of blurted out, like, I love your lipstick. What color lipstick are you wearing? And it turned out that the lipstick that she was wearing was NARS Dragon Girl. And I'm telling you, like, it looked so good on her. And also, she was just like pretty to begin with. And therein lies the problem. Because like, yes, NARS Dragon Girl looked good on her, but is it that I actually think that the lipstick is pretty and want it? Or is it just that I'm being a homo, or well, a bi to be more precise, and thinking that she's beautiful? It's like that discourse that was going around a bit back that's like, is it an outfit or is she just skinny? Is this person actually fashionable? Did they create like a cute outfit? Or is it just that they're skinny and white and pretty and we think that like they look good and so therefore whatever they're wearing is by default considered stylish or good? For me, like, wanting NARS Dragon Girl is like the gay version of that. Like, do I actually want NARS Dragon Girl or do I just think woman pretty? Right? I think it might be a bit more of the latter than the former because I have a lot of red lipstick that I already own and which I love to bits and pieces, right? Like, I don't see what Dragon Girl necessarily would add to my life. Although I will say that Dragon Girl is an incredible name for a lipstick. NARS killed it on that one. Like, I'm obsessed with that name alone. But again, we just had this conversation. I should not be buying things just because they have cool names or just because cool, hot, potentially gay ladies on the street were wearing them. Let's discuss the other lipsticks that I kept like adding to my cart and nearly buying during the Sephora sale. So first up, we have Bobbi Brown's Crushed Lip Color in Rich Cocoa. Now, I actually already own Bobbi Brown's Crushed Lip Color in Telluride. And I'm like obsessed with the color of it. It's this like beautiful, perfect, sort of like deep mauve, but I'm also obsessed with the formula of these Bite Crushed lipsticks. I don't really know how to describe it. They're a matte lip color, but they're not a matte at like full opacity. They're a slightly sheer matte, right? It ends up giving this sort of like beautiful, slightly blotted, blurred lip effect. That in my personal opinion, I don't think there's been any other lipstick formula I've tried that has like quite gotten it down. I've definitely tried those like Glossier Generation G lipsticks and they get close, but I feel like they're a little bit more drying than the Bobbi Brown lipsticks, and the color range on Glossier is like whack. So while some people had floated the Generation G lipsticks as sort of like the Bobbi Brown Crushed Lip Color's cousin, like I'm not impressed with it. In my head, the Bobbi Brown Crushed Lip Color still reigns right at the top. In fact, I picked up Glossier Generation G lipstick in the shade Leo because I had hoped that it would be like the warm brown, neutral, my lip of better color of my dreams, and it absolutely was not. Barely shows up on my lips. I have to swipe it like 10 times to even get something to show up. Unfortunately, I ended up placing my Glossier order during like Black Friday, which meant that it didn't arrive until like mid-December, and I didn't discover my disappointment in like Leo until after my no-buy year had already started. I think that the one makeup item that I will still like and want at the end of my no-buy year, because I've given this like a lot of thought and consideration, it's the Bobbi Brown Crush Lip Color in Rich Cocoa. Because this has been something that I've been thinking about for a long time. It's been something that I think really will fill like a gap in my collection, and it's a lipstick that I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of, the same way that I get a lot of use out of Telluride. So this was actually like honestly the hardest thing for me to talk myself out of, but the way that I kind of ended up doing it is, one, I kept looking at the screenshot of my student loan amount to remind me like what was at stake here, like what was the opportunity cost of me like breaking this no-buy and spending money on a lipstick at this stage. And two, I reassured myself that like this lip color is permanent, right? Like Bobbi Brown's Crushed Lip Color has existed as a lipstick line for years now. Rich Cocoa has existed as a color for a while now. The odds of it sort of like being discontinued or whatever by the end of 2022, the start of 2023, it's very, very low. Like I'll be fine. I can wait it out. I didn't realize till I really started thinking about this Bobbi Brown color that there is actually so much relief to be had from this idea that like this product's not going anywhere. So I don't have to get it right now. I can get it when it is appropriate for me to do so. And I think like what I'm realizing as I'm like sitting here talking through this now is like I have a lot of respect for brands that have had like the same products for like a really, really long time, as opposed to brands that have like a billion limited edition runs. And it's interesting because I think about like a brand that I used a lot and which I love a lot even to this day is like MAC. And MAC is so interesting and funny because they cut both ways. Like on the one hand, they are the king of limited edition collections, right? I feel like MAC has like 10 of them every single year to the point where it's just exhausting. You can't keep up with it. You don't know what's going on. But it's like those limited edition things from MAC are never really the things I'm like super grateful for. The things that I'm like super grateful for in terms of MAC are the things that they have had for like a billion years, like Face and Body Foundation, a bunch of their lip liner colors like Spice and Whirl and Hover and Subculture, like they're right out of the 90s. And I have a lot of respect for that aspect of MAC and for the longevity of some of their products, the reliability of it always being there, as opposed to like the limited editionness of it all. And then similarly on the lower end of the spectrum, the Revlon lip color Cherries in the Snow, which by the way is one of my favorite sort of like vibrant drugstore lipsticks of all time. Like nothing has ever come close to it at the drugstore. That's also a lipstick that I think has been in production since the 1950s continuously by that brand. I just think I've just really come to appreciate brands that like create shit and then are steady with it. Because then I'm not feeling the way that I felt about like that M Cosmetics blush in Persimmon, where I'm so gutted at having missed out that I'm like now mindlessly seeking for something to like fill the perceived hole in my soul that exists because I don't have access to Miss Persimmon. You know, like with Rich Cocoa, I feel so much more calm and sedate and less frenzied about it, which I guess like the point of creating FOMO is to like stir people up in a frenzy so that they buy things. But I guess maybe I'm just like an old bitch now. I like don't enjoy the frenzy and the fray anymore. Now I'm like, can I just be calm? Can I just shop in peace? Like, can I not be stressed out that like you are going to release something and an hour after you release it, like it will no longer be available? I just want all of my like makeup buying experiences to engender like serenity and calm and not like a panicked rush because I'm afraid I'm gonna like miss out on it. Speaking of brands that have like permanent collections of lipstick that I'm super interested in, but which will totally be sticking around at the end of my no-buy year, let's talk Gucci. So I actually have 3 Gucci lipsticks. 2 of them I bought myself. So one is the matte lipstick in Mona Leslie Cameo. It's like this taupey color. That I don't know how well you can see given how bonkers the lighting is. And then the other that I bought is like the High Shine High Gloss formula in Jody Wild Mauve. It's like a deep berry color. And ever since I got Mona Leslie Cameo, like I haven't been able to stop raving about it to everybody. And so one of my friends actually ended up for my birthday picking up another Gucci matte lipstick in the shade 3 Wise Girls. And I don't really know how I feel about this color. I think it's a little bit too coral for my taste, but given that it was a gift, I will give it the old college try when summer swings around and wear it. But the point I'm trying to make here is I like really truly genuinely love everything about the like Gucci lipstick aesthetic. And for a while now, I have been looking at 2 additional Gucci colors that just seem super appealing to me and which I kind of want to add to my collection. So one of them is actually a really bright, vivid lipstick. It's the matte lipstick in Cassie Magenta. Cassie Magenta, as its name would suggest, is a genuine bold magenta color, but it's not a white-based neon magenta. It's a much more wearable magenta that I've seen people with skin that is like my color and actually even darker be able to pull off, and it just looks beautiful, right? It's like one of those sort of magenta colors that sort of lights up your entire face. And despite the fact that I have like olive golden undertones, I am like a big lover of the sort of like magenta berry lip colors, because one, I feel like my lips actually do have like a mauvey purpley tinge to them, despite the fact that the rest of my skin is like really olivey yellow. And two, I just really like the contrast that they provide. I feel like berry and magenta tone lipsticks really like brighten up my face for some reason. I look really like alive when I wear them. And so I've been really badly wanting Cassie Magenta in the matte formula. So that's item number 1 that I kept like adding to my cart during the Sephora VIB sale, because honestly, I feel like the VIB sales are the perfect time to buy a Gucci lipstick. Like they're the only time that a Gucci lipstick is ever going to be on sale, you know, like, because it's not like the Gucci website's ever going to put them on sale. Okay, my camera battery died again, and so while I'm charging it up, I figured I should honestly just like use my phone to film the rest of this before the lighting gets like even more bonkers, because it's like 6:30 in the evening now. So sorry for the drop in audio and video quality, but we must soldier on. So I was talking about Gucci lipsticks. In addition to Cassie Magenta, I have been obsessively, ever since I got Mona Leslie Cameo, looking at the nude lipsticks that Gucci offers. The 3 that I was sort of going back and forth on were Painted Veil, Susan Nude, which I believe is like Alicia Archer's favorite of like the Gucci nudes, and then Penny Beige, which like a lot of people have talked about. They've said that it has like a really interesting sort of like ochre yellow undertone, and I'm kind of curious like what that would look like on me, given that my skin has like a yellow ochre undertone, you know? And so for months now, I've been like going back and forth on these 3 lip colors, trying to decide like which of them I think is the best, which of them I would want to try first, and whether I would want to get like the matte formulas, which I have 2 of those, or whether I would want to try the satin formula, which I've also heard really good things about, and which, by the way, is in the most beautiful like Art Deco lipstick case. And then the nail in the coffin for me, the thing that like cemented my decision on which color I wanted to get and in what formula, is the lovely and incredible Ameerah Mohammed. I don't know if you guys know who Ameerah is or if you're subscribed to her channel. I am. She was on a no buyer for the first 3 months of 2022. I'm gonna link her channel up in the cards if you're interested. She is stunningly beautiful. Her makeup skills are without compare. Like, I love watching her put on eye makeup. It's honestly like so inspiring to me as a basic bitch who loves just throwing like one color on my lid and leaving the house. Like, I love seeing what she does so that I get inspiration on how to play with like my own eyeshadow palettes. And I love the way she talks about makeup. I love the way she talks about the things that she owns. She's also really funny. Go check out her channel. But either way, she had filmed a couple of videos in the same makeup look, and I like could not stop obsessing over how good her lipstick looked, right? I was like, what is that? Like, it was the most perfect lip color I had ever seen, and I kept checking her description under every video where I saw her wear this like perfect nude lip to be like, did she tell us what it is in this one? And she didn't. And so finally I was like, oh, okay. I asked her in the comments, like, I'm obsessed with your lip color, like, what is it? And she said it was ColourPop's BFF3 lip liner and the Gucci satin lipstick in Penny Beige. So that was that decision made for me. Like, Gucci's Penny Beige, she clearly is that bitch. She is the dream nude color for people of around a medium skin tone. And so yeah, now I'm like low-key, high-key, honestly, kind of like obsessed with Penny Beige by Gucci. I want it, I need it. But much like Bobbi Brown's Rich Cocoa, I can be confident that both Cassie Magenta and Penny Beige will both still exist in Gucci's lipstick lines by the time my makeup year is over. I can just pick these up in like April 2023's VIB sales after I have fully paid off my student loan. Because dude, Gucci lipsticks are 42 US doll hairs. Like, they are not cheap. To buy 2 of them is almost $100, especially like once you factor in tax and shit. They are truly like the height of decadence and luxury. And a bitch who still owes like $28,000 to the Canadian government should not be living a life of like decadence and luxury. I can and should, more importantly, wait till I have a non-negative net worth before I'm going around buying Gucci lipsticks. All right, this is like a hella long video. My throat is truly giving out. So the last 2 things that I nearly bought that I kept like adding to my Sephora cart and then removing them were 2 cream blushes. So specifically, they were the Rare Beauty Melting Cream Blush in Nearly Apricot and then the Tower 28 Cream Blush in Golden Hour. So here's the deal. Those of you who have been around my channel for a while know that blush is my favorite category of makeup product. Cheek products in general are my favorite, but like blush especially, even more so than highlighter. Unfortunately, because of like mask wearing over the past 2 years, I honestly like haven't really been wearing that much blush or that much base makeup in general, because I didn't want to break out and I didn't want to like dirty up and stain a bunch of masks. But now like mask restrictions have kind of been like easing up where I am, and so I've been like really excitedly dabbling back in like base makeup and blush especially. And so the blush baby that lives inside of me cannot stand the fact that I have not tried the Tower 28 or Rare Beauty cream blush formulas, because the blush baby inside me thinks about blush like Pokemon, like she's gotta catch them all. And so despite the fact that I own a lot of cream blush already, and I literally just told you I haven't even been wearing a lot of that cream blush because of the mask mandates, I spent the better part of my sickness not looking at the things that I already had and really enjoyed, but instead like obsessing over these blush products that I like hadn't tried yet. And it's just like, if I'm being like real with myself, it's like nonsensical, right? Cream blush is not the same as powder blush. NARS Taj Mahal, that very first high-end blush that I bought literally 10 years ago now, that powder is still going strong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But like 10 years from now, every single cream blush I own will probably be harboring so much bacteria that I will single-handedly be responsible for the next pandemic if I still insist on keeping that shit around. So I need to stop it with the cream blushes. They have a very firm expiration date. Moreover, this idea that like I need to catch them all, it's dumb. I am never going to catch them all. There are a billion makeup companies out there that are releasing makeup at just crazy astronomical rates. I'm never going to be able to try them all, and so I should just let go of trying. And it's much easier said than done, because like the fear of missing out is real, but I guess like a better way to reframe it is like the fear of missing out on what? Right? Because okay, I like miss out on these 2 blushes, but you know what I like don't miss out on? Like financial stability, drawer space. Cause like, dude, my makeup collection, bonkers. It's like bursting at the seams right now. The Muji drawers I have are barely holding it together. You know what I'm also not missing out on is peace of mind, cause I hate clutter. Clutter stresses me out. It like aggravates my ADHD and my anxiety. And when my like makeup collection looks like really overwhelming and cluttered and out of control, my like gut reaction is to just like not use any of my makeup at all. So it's like, yeah, like I'm missing out on owning these physical blushes, but I'm like also gaining a whole bunch of other things when I choose to miss out on that stuff. And I think for my own sanity, I need to like focus on like what it is I gain when I miss out on things instead of focusing on the thing that I'm missing out on. And again, not easy. But I guess the point of like both this no buy and the first no buy I went on is like building the muscle of having these sort of difficult but honest conversations with myself, because the more frequently I do that, the more frequently I have these conversations with myself, the more I like run up against these challenges and then like find ways to talk myself out of it, the easier and easier it becomes the next time. Because I guess like the fear of missing out, like I don't just have that in the realm of makeup, like I have that everywhere in my life. And if I can figure out ways to talk myself out of my FOMO around makeup, then I can like cross apply that conversation to all of these other areas in my life where I have like a fear of missing out on things. That got weirdly profound for a video that is ostensibly just about me complaining about things that I really wanted to buy but I'm like too broke to. But whatever. we are here now. And that was all of the junk that I wanted to buy over the past couple of weeks, and all of the stuff that I managed to talk myself out of buying over the past couple of weeks because my no buy year is still going strong. I'm very curious to know if you have somehow made it this far, because I know like not all of you guys watching are on no buy years. Like, did you end up buying stuff during the Sephora VIB sale? What did you end up getting? And what things, even whether you were on a no buy year or not on a no buy year, what things did you end up kind of like talking yourself out of? As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing upcoming week. And even if the rest of your week is messy or imperfect, I hope that you're still able to create an experience. Oh, we nearly almost made it to the end of the video with my voice still standing. I hope you have an amazing upcoming week. And even if the rest of your week is messy and imperfect, I hope that you're still able to create and experience some truly beautiful moments. Thanks for watching. Bye.